that's what becoming the leader means. It means knowing that you're the one in charge of the vision now. You're the one in charge of the results that your clients get from the services and support you put in front of them. Your business is not you anymore. Your business is its own identity. It's its own entity. And you are the one leading it, not the one fulfilling. Hello, and welcome back to the Oracle on Purpose podcast. I'm so excited to get back into it with all of you and share the latest and greatest from our podcast with all of you who are out there who are founders and entrepreneurs who are very much excited about making a difference in the world. So whether you are a wellness practitioner, you could be a naturopathic doctor, you could be an acupuncturist, you could be someone who works in the wellness industry in some way. And what I know that is really common among those individuals that I work with especially is the desire to know that the work that you're doing not only is making a difference in the individual lives of the people you serve, but that it is helping in the grand scheme of things, it's helping in the overall health and wellness of the world. And what I want you to know, if you are someone like that and you're listening to us here on our podcast, that we are going to bring more and more people in to see you and share with you not only their own journeys, but some tools and tips about how you can actually create a stronger business, a stronger practice, if you will, to reach more people, to do more with what you have to offer and reach more people by doing less yourself. And so I wanted to talk today about what does it mean to do less and achieve more? What does it take? And one of the key things that it takes is understanding that it is not all up to you. If you are someone who started off and kind of bootstrapped your way into what you've created so far, congratulations. That's a huge accomplishment and certainly something to be proud of. However, and this is the big important piece, however, there is a place in your business where you're going to find yourself understanding that you absolutely cannot do it all and continue to thrive as a business. And I feel like that's the point where most of my clients that I work with kind of find the pull, right? They find that stretch in wanting to do more, wanting to reach more people. You know, they'll hear things like, how do I scale my business? What does it take to get to 7 figures and beyond? And they become a little shell-shocked, if not kind of frozen in unknowing, right? The unknown and what it will take to get there. And so they find themselves oftentimes stuck and stagnating at a certain level, right? You can call it blocked, whatever you want to call it. However, it doesn't really matter because the truth of the matter is it's not that it's not available to them or to you. It's that it takes something different than you've done so far. And sometimes, like I said, when we have done so much with so little for so long and have achieved things, we think that's the only way. So if you think that's the only way, and you have also been there saying to yourself, I don't know what else I can do, and yet I know I want to make a bigger impact. I want to make more money, frankly, right? I want to have more prosperity, more abundance. And I feel like the only way I can do that, or you feel like the only way you can do that, is by giving more of yourself or putting in more time yourself. If you feel like there aren't enough hours in the day for you to get where you want to go, this is the message for you. This is a message for you. And the message is this: there is absolutely a path forward that allows you to do less and achieve more. And more often than not, that is actually the key to achieving more, is doing less. So if you, like many, and including myself, I'll throw myself under the bus here, have always had that in your mind that you have to figure out how to get something done, and you have to bring the people in to your practice or your services, or you have to collaborate and negotiate everything all the time on your own, that is untrue. If you are going to move beyond the 6-figure level, right? Why does it tie with the money? There's a lot of reasons, but one primarily is that it takes more of your awareness and your intention and your vision now at the higher levels, and more income stream so that you can actually put people in place to support you. And up to that point, typically, you can do it all yourself because you don't have as many clients coming in, or you have them at such a level that you can maintain. But once you reach kind of that mid-level, it starts to feel like there literally isn't enough time, hours, or energy for you to do it all yourself. So this is that leap. This is the canyon you have to cross. And it takes having the right team in place to do it. Great. But before you have the right team, before you invest, you have to become the person that is leading that team. You have to understand that leading that team is the most important thing you can do next. That will bring value to your work, to your clients, and to your future. Becoming is the first step. What if you could tap into the law of attraction with precision and power on your terms? I'm Leah Dunlap, and in my audiobook, Power Up the Law of Attraction, I give you the no-fluff blueprint to create a life of purpose, prosperity, and peace. Ready to stop manifesting by accident and start creating with intention? Download Power Up the Law of Attraction now on Audible. Now, back to the show. Becoming and identifying with the person who leads a team, who is the person who makes 7 figures. And when I say 7 figures, we're talking anything above $990,000, right? That next level, that little tip over mark, is going to call you to the carpet. It's going to say to you, look, at this next level, we must be able to stand with and lead a team. You need to be able to identify yourself in that picture. That's what needs to happen first. If you don't, right, what you'll find is that you're going to sabotage yourself. You're going to have bad hires. You're going to not know what to do when you get someone, whether that's someone internally in your business or externally, like a virtual assistant of some sort, because you're not leading yourself into this new evolution of leadership. You're not claiming that new identity. And so that's the first step. Become the leader who is leading the team. Become the person who you envision has the capacity to delegate and look for ways to automate services, to actually cut services. Hear me out on this one. A lot of the things that you've done in the past, you have done them because you were stuck in a pattern of being the only one. And in order to resell or sell again or open up more people to your calendar, you probably, if you're like most, you probably added everything from the kitchen sink, which meant you were actually delivering far beyond what was necessary because you hadn't looked at it from the right perspective. And so one of the things you'll have to do when you reach this portal, right, of moving beyond 6 figures to 7 is to understand with a keen eye, with that leadership eye, what really makes the biggest impact for your clients and your customers. And what's just fluff you put in there to feel good about the prices you were trying to raise to get to that level. Oh, that might hurt some people. So stick with me here. It's okay. It's understandable. And it's typical that that's the way you thought it needed to be done. because that's what got you to those 6 figures. Like I said, this gap needs to be traversed. And part of that is taking the leap of faith of understanding where you need to put down any idea that everything has to be on your plate. You have to put that down and say, everything has to get done that is necessary for your people, your clients, your, participants, whatever you call them, to get the results that they need. And anything else, again, we're speaking from a leadership position, the leader looks at that with a keen eye to say, is this actually necessary for them to get results? And if it's not, being willing to cull that, to be willing to be the leader who says, we are no longer doing this, right? Not looking outside, asking a million people, looking for agreement, but standing in your own sense of leadership and saying, yeah, this isn't working anymore. And instead, we're going to whatever the XYZ is, fill in the blank. That's what becoming the leader means. It means knowing that you're the one in charge of the vision now. You're the one in charge of the results that your clients get from the services and support you put in front of them. However, you are no longer responsible 100% to be the one doing that delivery. And then knowing those outcomes allows you as the leader to look for the right team members to fulfill those obligations for you on your behalf, on the company's behalf, which is the last, piece of the puzzle, if you will, of leadership, is to understand that your business is not you anymore. Your business is its own identity. It's its own entity. And you are the one leading it, not the one fulfilling. And when you get to that place where you are understanding that, I promise you, one thing that will happen is there'll be a weight lifted that will feel kind of weird. That doesn't sound like really exciting, but it feels odd, perhaps, that not everything that you used to promise happens anymore, and that you don't have to do everything all the time anymore. And then the next piece is once you let go and you expect that the people you hire and put in place will actually achieve similar, now here's the really good part, similar, if not better results for your clients. To be a true leader, you will want to grow into a place where you can step back far enough to recognize there might actually be someone out there who can do what you do or have done even better, who can actually get your clients, right? Because they're still your clients, it's still your business, better results because their genius in that particular facet of what you do with your clients is better. And once you reach that level, you have fully embraced being the leader. You have fully embraced the identity of leadership. It's beyond just writing founder or CEO after your name in your email. This is about taking all of those components of leadership, of being the business owner, and putting them into place. Understanding that you're looking at your business structure, your accounting, all of the things that you perhaps before felt like you were beholden to, and instead saying you are in charge of, right? What happens with the income and the revenue that comes in, how you manage it, how you use it and leverage it. It's a whole nother world, except it no longer requires you to be back in the driver's seat of every single transaction, right? So there is some gap there you might become aware of. And you might feel as if you're out of control just a little bit. And the beauty of it is, yeah, because your business has its own life. And when you understand that your business has its own life, then you get to be the steward of it. You get to see that vision and help support it and look for ways to make it better, even without you being in the mix. And that new shift will require you to stretch your identity, not just your mindset, right? Mindset is a part of it. Mindset says it's possible. Identity says it's possible for you, that you are the one that can do it, that you are the one that will do it, and that you are the one that's ready to do it so that your business can get to that next level. So throughout this next season, you'll hear us talking about all these pieces, of the puzzle. And I invite you to look at them from that lens, to sit in the position of and the identity of the owner of the business, the CEO, the founder, the one who is building the vision, and take all of the information, all of the inspiration, the tools and the techniques that you'll hear from all of our guests and put them into action, not through your own hands, right? But through your team's hands. What would you need to do? What team would you need to bring in? Who do you need to support you in the different roles and functions that allows you to stand more in your power as the true leader, the true founder, the true CEO of your business? And once you do that, imagine that you're actually signing the contract, if you will, to scale. Signing the contract to the next level of your business operations and your functions as a leader, right? Imagine you've just hired yourself, right, as the CEO, and you've given yourself that ink on the bottom line that says, yes, this is who I am now. I'm agreeing, right? I am signing on the dotted line that this is my new role because you see so much possible in yourself, in your clients, and in the future of your business. All right. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time on the Oracle on Purpose podcast, where we know that you deserve to live a limitless life of purpose and prosperity. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe below so you can see our next episode with our next amazing guest.